Best new horror movies to watch in 2023. Last year's horror movies will be hard to beat. From the new Scream to Terrifier 2 to The Black Phone, there was plenty of thrills and chills. But horror fans can rest easy knowing that 2023 will be another haunted year. Good year for the genre. From dark takes on classic children's fairy tales to reimaginings of hit 70s horror franchises, this year will have you peeking out from under the covers for months. For die-hard horror fans, scary movies aren't just for October, which is why we've compiled a list of the highly anticipated scary movies to be released throughout the year. Please check back here regularly as we'll let you know in real time when new films are announced and trailers are released. YouTube. M3GAN. If you're a fan of the Child's Play movies or that spooky episode of Black Mirror starring Miley Cyrus and the doll, then this is the movie for you. What happens when an anthropomorphic robotic doll becomes a girl's new best friend? Not good. The Pale Blue Eye. This dark film follows a detective named Augustus Landor, Christian Bale, who investigates the murder of a West Point cadet. Realizing that the victim's fellow cadets will not help him solve the case, Augustus enlists the help of a cadet. A young man named Edgar Allan Poe, Harry Melling. Yes, that Edgar Allan Poe. FYI, Harry Melling is best known for playing the hideous Dudley Dursley in the Harry Potter films, so sounds like a real treat to see him in a completely different kind of role. Sick. Two friends decide to self-quarantine in a remote lakeside home during the first few months of the COVID-19 pandemic. Unfortunately, they are not alone and are soon followed by a sinister person. Kevin Williamson, also known as the author of Scream, co-wrote this film with Caitlin Crabb. The film stars Gideon Adlon, who played Becca in the Netflix series The Society, which was canceled far too early. Snow Falls. Mean Girls, starring Aaron Samuels, aka Jonathan Bennett, and this horror film directed by Colton Trand follows 5 friends who get snowbound in a remote cabin on New Year's Eve and start to go nuts. There's something wrong with the children. Two groups of couples take their kids for a weekend getaway, but the fun doesn't stop after the kids disappear into the woods. When they find the children, one of the adults thinks something weird and supernatural is happening to them. Teen Wolf, the movie. This theatrical revival of the hit MTV series that ended in 2017 reunites most of the original Teen Wolf cast. A new rude awakening in Beacon Hills brings together old friends and allies to battle a deadly foe. Infinity Pool. If you missed seeing Mia Goth get super scary in movies like X and its predecessor Pearl, then this sci-fi thriller is for you. Starring Mia and Big Little Lies star Alexander Skarsgård, this film follows a wealthy couple enjoying a vacation at an island resort. However, after an accident occurs outside the resort grounds that changes their happy world, they must fight to survive. The society's zero-tolerance policy on crime leaves them with 2 choices: be executed or pay an unholy sum to watch you die. Knock at the Cabin. A family of 3, minding their own business while on vacation, is soon held hostage by a gang of 4 mysterious strangers. In her opinion, the family must make a decision in order to prevent the apocalypse. Directed by M. Night Shyamalan and starring Rupert Grint from Harry Potter, this film is based on Paul Tremblay's 2018 novel The Cabin at World's End. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Winnie the Pooh and Piglet are not your friends in this slasher movie about the 100-acre wood characters. After Christopher Robin, Nikolai Leon, leaves his childhood friends to go to college, they feel abandoned and quickly turn murderous. Their rampage hits a new high, though, when Christopher eventually returns to the forest to introduce his old friends to his new wife. Cocaine Bear. What's scarier than coming face to face with a bear? Being face to face with a bear who is high on cocaine and freaks out. This horror comedy is based on a true story, yes, seriously. A bear who has had a load of coke and is going on a drug-fueled killing spree. Scream 6. A sequel to the 2022 hit Scream, this sixth installment follows the four survivors as they leave the fictional town of Woodsboro to start a new life in New York City. Of course, they cannot escape Ghostface's clutches. Wednesday star Jenna Ortega reprises her role as Tara, and Scream 4's Hayden Panettiere returns to the franchise as Kirby. Unfortunately, the saga's beloved last girl Sydney Prescott, Neve Campbell, will not be returning due to salary disagreements. The new teaser reveals that Ghostface followed the survivors as far as Manhattan as they rode in a crowded subway car on Halloween night. Since almost everyone is costumed, it's almost easy to miss the masked villain, but then they attack. Beau is Afraid. If you prefer accelerated horror, aka horrifying however with complicated emotional and thematic underpinnings like Jenna Ortega's Individual describes with inside the commencing of Scream, then that is the film for you. Written and directed with the aid of using Ari Aster, the equal character who gave us Hereditary and Midsommar, his new movie follows the existence of a hit entrepreneur who has a few severe mommy issues. How does that plot make for a horrifying film? Check out the bonkers trailer underneath and spot for yourself. Renfield. Remember when the whole internet went crazy over those pics of Nicolas Cage walking around New Orleans dressed as Dracula? Well, it was for this movie. For those who don't know Bram Stoker's original Dracula story, or haven't seen the 1931 Universal classic, Renfield is Dracula's henchman. Renfield is a horror comedy that follows the exploits of Renfield, Nicholas Hoult, who quits his job for Dracula, Nicolas Cage, after falling in love with a traffic cop named Rebecca Quincy, Awkwafina.